Well, we start today in the normal place outside the shop. I had to go and get a bottle of water ready for the day. So, look where we are. And look what we've got down here. The good old CB radio. Still here from yesterday. Let's go on top of a nice big hill and see if we can hear anyone, shall we? The time is exactly 6 minutes past 6 on a lovely Friday morning. Let's go and have a look and see what we can find. Could park around here somewhere, I suppose, and we could see what we could hear, or we could carry on a little bit further. I suppose it does go up a little bit higher up here, so if we go a bit further on up here, it does go a little bit higher. In fact, there's a nice church. Well, it ain't a nice church. There's a church up here. It's a rather ugly church, actually. It's one of the more modern ones, but we could always go up here and have a look. Might be able to park in a nice, reasonable place near the church. We should be able to get under the barrier. We should be able to with this aerial. So he wouldn't have been able to get under the barrier with the van or whatever, but we'll be alright. And I've even still got the little thing on the end. Nice. Let's go around here then. Probably quite a popular dogging spot round here. Look, they've even put a little camera up so they can watch them dog. Fucking hell. Dying. Oh, I'm dying here. Please do not feed the horses, alright? Oh, yeah. It's a nice little area, look. Got some horses down here. Nice little footpath goes down there. Never really walked down there. Some horses. Random old church. Well, it ain't even an old church, is it? It's one of those new churches. A bit ugly, but there you go. Anyway. Let's, I've even still got the little black thing on the end of the area. I'll have to go underneath that 2 metre height restriction, so let's go and see who we can find to talk to today. First, what we're going to have to do is, oh, actually, do you want me to talk about setting SWR? Now, I better talk about that because I need to answer a couple of questions, really. So I've had some questions about setting the SWR or the VSWR in a car. Some people are having trouble setting it up with their aerials inside a car. Now you've got to remember that because the car itself is the ground plane, anything you change on it will affect it. So if you're setting it, say you've got the door open, or you might have the boot open as well on a couple of doors, it'll always affect the pattern of the radiation. And so when you're coming in and checking your SWR, you've got the door open, that'll affect, like you even heard then, it changed the noise level. So it will also affect, you know, your SWR. So you could be checking it, going in and out, you've got your leg hanging out the door, you know, you're keying up your mic, whatever. So it's always important when you adjust your aerial, get in, close the door. Don't stand outside, get in and close it. Now, that, some people are going to argue, oh, it don't matter, I do it. No, I've got to be honest, I don't always do it. I leave the door open sometimes and I get a good SWR and no problems. But in some cases, it can affect it which is why I'm saying always keep it in mind. Doesn't mean it always does it, but you have to keep it in mind. If you're playing around with your aerial and you can't get a good SWR, think, let me just close the door and I'll try it then, because I have had issues with that. The Land Rover was one of those ones, trying to get a good SWR with that. If I opened the door, it went through the roof. If I closed the door, it was fine. Anyway, that's a little bit of chat about that. Let's wire up the old amp, stick the wire in there. I'm going to have to open it up. Let's wire it up, then we can turn the amp on, turn the linear on, and then we can see who we can find to talk to. We don't have a lot of noise up here, which is always good. Hello, hello. Who's on the wonderful 1.9 this morning? Anybody about on the good old 1.9? Hello? Who's around on a good old 38? Anybody on the 38 this morning? Hello? Who's around? Come on. Anyone around? Blimey. Perhaps I need to try a different location. Or it could just be that there's no one around. Everyone's probably just asleep or something. Normally some people are around in the morning though. I've tried, off camera, I've tried all the channels just to see if anyone's around. See, I've only got 40 channels on this radio. I don't bother with all the side bands and that. I might do at some point, like when I'm out and about, but not at the moment. Anyone out on the 1.9? Anybody about? Hello? Bloody hell. What's going on? This isn't where I normally go when I set up a radio. There's a bit further on, there's another car park with a big park. There's actually a mobile phone tower there, but it doesn't affect anything. Normally that's where I go, and so does everyone else, but to be honest, I can't be bothered to go that far on today. So I thought I'd just come and sit in this little church car park, you know, where all the doggers go. Probably a lot of dogging went on last night. Do you know, this area, right, the Indian Hills, actually used to be like a massive hotspot for dogging. It was on the news and everything at one point. That's such hilarious. That's so funny. Just imagine, like, all round in the corners, people shagging in the bushes. Don't know why I find it so funny, but I do. Anybody on the 1.9? Who's around? Hello? Oh. Yeah. I wish I could say I had loads of crazy contacts, but the trouble is, probably too early in the morning. Another thing to consider when setting a radio up inside a car is interference from the car itself. That's why I said to you about plugging in the cigarette light. I mean, I always do, I don't bother with it. I plug in the cigarette light. If I get noise, if I get ignition noise, if I get any noise coming from the car, then I will change it and put it on the battery. But you got to remember, you lot, that noise doesn't just come from the antenna on the roof. Noise can also come through the power lead. Alright, so the car can be giving off a noise. It can be coming through the cigarette lighter plug, through the power lead, into your radio, through the power cable. It can be. So you can put ferrite rings and things on, but generally it's not a good idea to plug into the cigarette lighter plug. But having said that, as I just said, you know, do what I do. And as I say, what I do is I do something, and then if I get a problem, then I'll rectify it. I won't go around trying to get rid of a problem that I haven't yet had. So at the moment, and I don't think I've ever had an issue plugging into the cigarette plug. Actually, there's no noise coming through the cigarette plug. There's no there's a drive, as far as I know. Never had any complaints. There's no one there's no one out there that said anything. There's someone out there walking around with the horses. Anyway, no one said anything to me, so I'm not going to bother trying to link it up to the thing. But the proper way of doing it is to connect the radio itself and any linears you've got and any equipment you've got radio related straight to the battery, or even better, have another battery in the car. But you just find a little grommet hole in the firewall and connect it straight to your battery, and in that way you're alleviating any chance of any noise coming through the cigarette plug, because it can happen. You can use ferrite rings on things like that, but you've got to remember what is the rating of said plug. Yeah, you better find it, even if you find the fuse in the fuse box for the cigarette lighter plug, and find out what the fuse is. That will tell you the rating. Now, a typical radio at 4 watts takes around 1.4 amps on draw, like when you're transmitting, so that'll be fine. Normally a cigarette plug is around about 10 amps. Some cars are 12 amps, normally 10 amps. So if you're going to attach a radio which is capable of more wattage, let's say a 6900 or any other radio that's capable of putting the power up, you need to know the draw, the current that's going to be taking on full power, if you intend on using it on full power. And you need to take that into consideration, because let's say your cigarette plug is 10 amps but your radio draws 15 amps on full power. You're going to blow your fuse quickly, and also you could damage wires on your car, but you're going to blow the fuse. It's as simple as that, and you don't want to be fanning around blowing fuses when you're trying to use the radio. So take that into consideration, and you can still use that radio on that plug, just don't turn the power up. Leave it on low power and you'll be alright, as long as you're under that 10 amps. And the same thing if you're going to attach a linear and plug that into the same plug, or another plug. A lot of the times, I'm not saying it's definite on all cars, but some cars, you might have 2 cigarette plugs, yeah? 2 12-volt plugs in your car. Now you might think, alright, well they're 10 amps, that means there'll be 10 amps each, that means I've got 20 amps, that means I can plug a radio into one of them and a linear in the other one that's under 10 amp draw, and I'll be alright. Not necessarily. Excuse me. Because some cars, and probably all, but at least some, I can't speak for exceptions, they go to the same bloody fuse and they're on the same wiring. So that means you've actually effectively got 10 amps spread between 2. So let's say 5 amps each. So that means that if you was going to stick a radio on one plug and a linear on the other, the radio takes 1.4, but let's say 1.5 amps on a 4 watt radio that draws that. So you've got a 4 watt radio, 1.5 amps ish. That means you've got to then take that off of the total for the plugs. So the other one that's going to have the linear on it, you can only have around about 8 amps draw on that one, because you've got to allow a little bit of leniency. So bear that in mind. Don't go down the route of thinking, well, I've got 2 plugs, so I've got plenty of time, there'll be 10 amps each. Not necessarily. Have a look in the fuse box, there might be 2 fuses, 1 for each plug, in which case it probably is the case, you've got 10 amps on each, or whatever it says. Or find the manual for your car, that'll tell you, probably, if you can find a schematic for the wiring, where the fuses are and everything. But as I say, you got to bear that in mind when you're thinking about wiring in a radio to your car. Oh, sorry, Dave, I thought you was talking to me. Is Bob out there as well then?
Okay.
Hello, Dave. How's it going, mate? All right?
Yeah, yourself?
Mate, I'm top of the world, bud. Top of the world. Yeah, man. Sitting on top of Langdon Hills at the moment, just chilling out, bud.
You're booming now.
Well, thank you very much. Glad to hear it. As are you, Mr. Dave. Yeah. Like I say, mate, I'm just on top of the hill, chilling out, bud. Yeah. What you got on the plans for the agenda today? I hope you're having something nice to do today on a lovely Friday.
No, shopping day. I hate fucking shopping day.
You don't, do you? Don't you get excited about it? I think, bloody hell. You know what I'll do today? I think I'll treat myself.
You're a bit early for that, mate, up on that hill, ain't ya?
Am I? Yeah, I know, that's, what day's that? That's tomorrow, isn't it? What's the date today? Oh yeah, it's tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, the 6th. Yeah, I might come up here tomorrow. Might well do, but I thought I'd nip up here just before work and have a little look around. But yeah, that's right, yeah. Yeah, that'll be a different location, that won't be where I'm sitting now.
Is it tomorrow or is it Sunday?
I don't know, I thought it was tomorrow. I thought it was the 6th. And today's the 5th, is it not? I don't know. Well, I'll put it in for tomorrow on my little calendar. Oh, well, if it's Sunday, I can't go then. I've got stuff to do on Sunday. I thought it was tomorrow.
Might be tomorrow. I might have got it wrong. Take a trip up there. Yeah, it could be tomorrow. Yeah, it's the 5th today, isn't it?
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, like when Zena was talking about it, I put it in the I've got a little calendar on my phone. I put it in there, I'd forget. I put it in there under the 6th. Yes, I thought it was tomorrow. Oh well. I'll nip up here anyway, as I planned to, because I've got to go down to Dunmow in the morning and have a look at a camper van place, and then I was going to nip up here on my way home, you see, before I go to Sainsbury's to pick up my shopping.
Yeah, why not? Have a mate, both for having a marquee up there and all that, ain't they?
Are they there? Is it going that far? Bloody blimey, Mr. Dave, I didn't realise that. I thought it was just going to be a case of they're sort of just driving up there, sitting in their cars with an aerial on the roof and and have a little chat, a bit of a chin wag, and then going home. I didn't realise they were going the whole catering way, you know, bit of food and all that. Bloody blimey. God, I'll definitely go now.
Yeah, I think that's what I heard, along the line somewhere.
Sounds like there's going to be a meet tomorrow. Bloody
Can't make it all up. Yeah, no, as long as the other dickhead ain't up there, you're alright.
Well, I think the one you're on about, he ain't got no travelling, has he? He ain't got no means of transport, so I don't think, unless he walks or rides a bike. Buses don't come up here. I don't know. That'll be alright then. Bloody hell, get a couple of hot dogs and a few burgers, I reckon. Blimey. I wonder who's going to be doing the cooking.
Zena, ain't she?
No, really? Well, there you go. I didn't know that. Oh, I'm even more excited about it now. I was quite looking forward to just going up there and having a chat sort of thing, you know. I'm going to use this one. What I've got on the roof now, Mr. Dave, is a Stereo 4000, see? And I just on a little Thunderpole T3000 radio, so I was just going to stick that in the car, or in the other car, and come up here. Blimey.
Be careful, Ben, spending money.
I ain't spending no money, mate. I've had these for years, so there we go. Spending the money years ago when they were cheap. Not nowadays. Bloody blimey, it's too expensive now, Mr. Dave. Yeah, got to look after them pennies, mate.
Look after the pennies, the parents can take care of themselves.
That's right, mate. They all hug each other in the penny pot, don't they, eh? I've seen them before, mate. You ain't got to tell me how it works. I've seen them. I've got this little pot of change on the top indoors, right? And when you put a pound in there, all the pennies gather up and they hug it and they protect it, mate. So you can't take it out again, you see? They look after each other in there.
Yeah, I've got my juice jar for me fives and twos and ones. Yeah, I've got my sweet jar filling up to the end of the year.
Ah, nice one, man. Nice one. Here, Dave, you're going to be famous now.
Why's that?
Because I'm filming our little conversation, Mr. Dave, to put it on the old internet, mate. You're the first contact I've had up here this morning, see? So I've got to film it.
Doing alright. And you work this morning then?
I will be, mate, yeah. Because of the we've got the supervisor we got there. He's a bit lazy, see. So instead of starting at 7, he made us start at 8. So I don't have to be there till about, well, I don't have to be there till 8 really, but I like to get there about 7, just so I've got an hour to chill out. But yeah, so just gone up past 6 now, so I've got a bit of time to chill out. That's why I put a radio in the car, Dave, so I can just sort of have a bit of fun in the morning before I have to go to work.
Yeah, you should be able to catch Bob along the line somewhere later on, or this morning sometime.
Yeah, has he got his radio fixed now then?
You don't usually copy him, Ben.
Roger that, Mr. Cave, no problem, mate. Yeah, Alan, don't know whether you can't hear him, can you? Yeah, Dave can't really hear you either, mate, so that's a shame. But good morning, sir. What is going on this lovely Friday, Alan?
I don't know, mate. Everything seems to be loud and clear for
Alan and Leon see
normally
that.
I'm listening for Frank around and going to work, and I heard you and I thought, cool, it's making it nice and loud.
Oh, mate, well, I'm glad to hear that. As I said, mate, you know, I've just stuck an aerial on a roof, and before work I've come up on top of Landon Hills, if you know where that is. I'm assuming you do. I'm sitting here next to a very famous dogging spot, just chilling out, see who I can hear, mate.
Yeah, what did you say? Yeah, well, Big Al will be up there later, won't he? Whiskey bottles for the net tonight.
There's a net tonight, is there?
So what, the Tango Echo net?
Oh, right. What, he comes up here, does he? Or, what do you mean? So does he come up here and sit up here and do it from here, does he?
Either up there or Radar Hill. I'm sure he's up there tonight up at Langdon Hills. I'm sure that's what he posted on our site, our Tango Echo site. So yeah, he should be up there, boys.
Oh, nice. Well, this ain't too far from where I live, so I'll be able to hear him lovely from home anyway. I won't have time to come up here tonight, unfortunately. But I think I'm going to come up here tomorrow. There's meant to be a meet up here tomorrow, or from what I understand. Are you joining?
No, mate, I'm housebound. I can't get out.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, well. Yeah. That's all dandy now, isn't it? I'm going to have to set off soon anyway. But what are you doing? What did you say you was doing this morning? Chilling out?
Say sorry.
I think we got Frank on here as well, by the sounds of it. You on here, Mr. Frank? Frank in Shoebury-Ness, are you on here? Bloody hell, what's happening to him then? Alan, is Frank on here? He just sent me a message to say he's about, but I can't hear him.
No, he's not coming into me, so I don't think it is Frank. It might be. Frank. You on here? Oh, hello there, mate. You had Mr. Bean shouting for you. Yeah, can't hear him.
You can't hear me, Frank? No way. Oh man, I'm gutted about that. Perhaps I should stick the other radio in line, but I ain't got time for that. I genuinely thought he'd better hear me from up here.
I'm responding to you, so we can't hear you, bud.
Oh well, never mind. Tell him I said good morning anyway.
Mr. Bean said good morning, Frank. Yeah, morning back. Yeah, good morning back.
I can hear Frank, you see, that's the thing. I can hear him loud and clear. Excuse me. That's why I thought from up here. I thought he'd get me. Never mind. It's what it is, if you like that saying.
that's it, mate. You know, it's the first time I've really spoke to you. It's just one of those things, isn't it? You get good days, you get bad days.
Good days, bad days, in between days, never mind. Righto, Mr. Allen. I'm going to have to get packing this up again and going off to work now. I'll have to get there for about 7 o'clock, you see, and it's nearly 1:45 now, so I'll speak to you another day with any luck, Mr. Allen. And Frank can't hear me, but goodbye, Frank, anyway.
Yeah, what do you mean, Mr. Ian? You take care, and I'll speak to you later. 73's to you.
73's. And Mr. Cave, if you're still listening, 73's, buddy. Catch you later on.
Get to work, Mr. Bean. Quite a busy morning.
Bloody hell, look, we've even got the sand blaster popped up.
Been this morning, wasn't it? Yeah, Roger. Yeah, it's calmed down a bit now. It's not too bad now. Quite pleasant.
Yeah, so it seems everyone started to wake up a bit later, didn't they? So the good old chat there to Alan and Leon C, which I've never actually managed to speak to because he's always in the back of the box for me, and I don't think he can ever hear me either. But yeah, that was quite good actually. Yeah, there's supposed to be a meet tomorrow at Langdon Hills, which when you see this video, I'm going to put this up on Saturday, so it will be on the day, well, providing it all goes well, I'll put it up Saturday, so it will be on the day this video goes live. Apparently there's supposed to be an eyeball up on Langdon Hills where I just was, just a different location on the hill. So I do plan on going along to it and visiting it, so yeah, piss off, bloody noise. So I'll see if I can get some footage of that. I plan on taking, bloody Jesus, that's some. I plan on taking, I might take this setup that I've got in this car now, I'll just change it over to the other car, because I've got to go on a little trip and then I've got to go and pick up my shopping from Sainsbury's. So yeah, I think I'll stick the radio in the car, nip up there. Dave reckons there's going to be a bloody marquee and a barbecue and all that kind of stuff. There might well be, but that's exciting stuff anyway. So the 6th of, what are we at? The 6th of August 2022, there's an eyeball meet thing going on at Langdon Hills. So as I say, if you're watching this on the Saturday morning and you fancy going up there in the afternoon, nip up there. But if you've missed it, then whatever. But anyway, I'll catch you later on, you lot. All the best, enjoy yourselves, and look after yourselves, won't you? It's a lovely world out there, as long as you're not gay. See you later.